special session, we are going to talk about how to fill out the application form for Diversity Business Pitch Competition, which should be due by September 27. So I just want to say I also sent out another reminder today. So it's kind of for if you are still wondering, should you submit this application or not? I would say you should, because by filling out this application, you will get a complimentary share table. So on October 18th, you will be able to showcase your business, products, and service at Surrey City Hall. And we are expecting more than 250 people to this event. So that's why you should fill out the form. For the event information, please go ahead to Diversity's website. There is a Diversity Entrepreneur and the Small Business Fair for October 18th. That web page has all the details. But now let's focus on how to fill out the form. So I know we have 2 participants right now. So if you have any questions, either you can just ask, you can talk, or you can type in the chat so I can answer that question. And this year, if you submit your application and then our selection committee, we will be reviewing all the application by October 5th. So which means apply before September 27. And then selection committee will review by October 5th. And at that point of time, we will be able to know who are shortlisted. So for the short lists, maybe 3 to 5, we will notify you and then have you to prepare for the live presentation for the business pitch on October 18th. And you may be wondering, if I am not shortlisted, should I still come? Yes, you should still come. Everybody, once you submit your application, no matter you are shortlisted or not, you are all invited to come to October 18 with the share table to showcase your business. Okay, and this application this year, you might see we have English and also we have French. Yeah, so we also offer the possibility of the Francophone Business Award this year. This is why. So now let's get into this application. So once you go to the application page for the business pitch competition, of course, you got to identify your background. Either you are BIPOC entrepreneur or either you are the Francophone entrepreneurs. Yes, you could be one of them or you could be both of them. And most importantly, you need to choose the application form. Either you want to use English application form or you want to use French application form. Okay, so far, do you have any questions? If that's silent, then I will just continue.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so right now we will choose the English one. Then now go ahead, of course, the basic information about your name. The contact person usually is the same yourself, your email address, your phone number, so we can follow up with you. And then the question 8 will be, we will recommend you come to this event in person, but just in case there's a special situation, you really couldn't come, you can only join virtually, but we don't know how to manage that yet. Yeah, so bear with me to say that, because we were 99% focused on the participant, they come to the event in person because it's easy to manage, especially when we are going to have many different events, activities happening. 3 to 5 p.m. is a trade show, so it will be the tables with different exhibitors, with different entrepreneurs. So it really makes sense if you can manage to come here in person. Okay, and number 9, of course, your legal business name. Either you haven't registered your business yet, you can put NA, or either you already have the company registration. So you put the company name. And then the type of your business, by the way, let me go back to the name. Sometimes you say you are not registered yet. It's also fine. So this is just we want to know your business name. So for the promotion purpose. Number 10 is the type of a business. So if you haven't registered your business, so likely at this point of time, you are doing under self-employment. So it's a sole proprietorship business, likely. Or you already registered your business under sole proprietorship, so you click here. Or you have the partnership business, you click here. Or if you have corporation, you click here. If you have other format of the legal entity, feel free just type here. For example, you might have the society, you might have the collective business structure, you can put there. And starting date of your business. So if you have registered your business, that should be the date. You put that as a business starting date. But if you don't have that yet, you can just tentatively put a future date. It's fine. And the address, you don't need to have the full address. We just want to make sure you are located in BC. It's our preference. And then if you have different phone number, you can continue with 13 and an email address if that's different. Now go to website. If you have the website, please put your website address. If you don't have a website, just put that as an NA. Then continue with the social media handles, which means your Facebook page. Okay, so please don't put your personal Facebook page. We want to see your business Facebook page. That is so-called handles or address is the same thing. Because when we do the promotion, we likely will also tag your business. So once we know your social media handles, it's easy to call promotion for each other. Okay, the reason we don't want you to put your personal Facebook page is because usually your personal Facebook page is just for your personal life, but this is for the business purpose. Okay, same thing with the Instagram. Put your social media handles. If you don't have that ready, then put NA. Okay, so far, these are just basic information. Any questions?
No, everything's clear.
Okay, so now continue to the essential core information part, starting from 18. So it's the mission and the vision as we discussed in the class. So you should state the purpose of your business. So make sure you cover why are you doing what, for who. So there should be the basic information included in your mission. And for the vision, that is your long-term objective, your company vision. As a business owner, what you can see. So usually you will separate mission to start with and then come after with your vision. Now continue with 19. Yes, we want to see your company and a brand story. So try to include your founders' personal journey, personal experience, and how that inspire you to create this business. So the motivation, inspiration of the business. So the company brand story naturally include the founder's story. But don't do that as too personal story. Always think about that need to be related to your customers, need to bring to the business perspective from a story point of view. And as we shared in our class, company brand story is part of your brand identity. So that is very important to be unique, to be special. Continue with 20. Of course, you go further, elaborate what do you offer. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 different product and service. So each one of them, try to put that as a high level category of the introduction of your product and the service line. So try to have the detailed introduction about each category of your product and the service. So it could be the simple introduction. You could go further with your features and the key components of your each product and service category. You can even go further with the benefits you bring to the community, you bring to the customers under each category. And furthermore, because after you submit this application, there's a reminder, you also need to send out the image of your product and the service. So the image actually elaborate and then represent your product and the service in the visual format. So I would say these product and service introduction are super, super important. It just have the selection committee, have the business advisor get to know what do you offer, how that look like. Then continue with 21. This is optional, but if you want to be competitive for the business pitch competition, this is highly recommended. You need to have that. So basically, just try to be reasonable and very specific about your unique selling proposition and why you are doing better than your competitors and why people should choose your service and the products. Continue with 22. Yes, for the customers, try to analyze. You might have one segment of customer. You might have multiple segments of the customers. So try to elaborate 1, 2, or 3, or at least you have the main, just one segment of the target customers. And then try to describe their situation, their challenge, their needs, in order for you to kind of answer how you are going to address their needs. So it definitely is not just list down of who they are, but try to describe a little bit further about their demographic and their psychographic profile. The industry analysis is optional, but if you want, try to have some brief introduction about the market overview. 24 is must. So for the marketing plan, try to elaborate from the marketing metrics. So describing your product, describing your pricing, describing your promotional plan, describing the channels, which means your distribution plan. Okay, so you try to elaborate in a different way. Continue with 25 is operational plan. So we want to know your key operational process and also your key milestone. Although it's optional, but also we require for the business pitch competition in order for your application to be competitive. And as we mentioned in the class, you can elaborate from the high level perspective. How are you doing from the product development into branding and the marketing, into productions or delivery of your product and service, into logistics, inventory and preparation, into bookkeeping and accounting. So actually it could be very simple to be outlined into 5 or 6 high level of the operational activities. Then continue with the financial plan. So if you have been up and running for several months or 1 or 2 years, highly recommend you include some of your revenues. How are you doing so far? And then from there, try to elaborate your sales revenue generation mechanism. And then how are you forecasting in the near future, in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 or 2 years? How will be the revenue look like? And of course, if you already established for 1 or 2 years or several months, you might already have some sales data. So you can mention some of the financial milestone and highlights. And if you are looking for the financial funding or grants or other things, you can briefly mention about your ask and how are you going to allocate if you got the financial loan or you got the financial funding.